Make this summer unforgettable driving in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Join me Friday, July 10th at 12 noon, where I will be hosting my show live from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. I'm excited to see my friend and GM Doug Wells and the entire staff. Mercedes-Benz of Edison is committed to making your shopping experience stress-free. That's one reason they were named the 2026 Mercedes-Benz Dealer of the Year by Cars.com. Visit Mercedes-Benz of Edison and meet me, Greg Kelly. See you soon.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Dave Scott, lost in space, the other side of midnight.
Danger. Balthus Sterling. Danger.
The Other Side of Midnight, hosted by Dave Scott, a Canadian. Ross Coulthart, an Australian, was on earlier this evening, and he says he believes in the next 7 days, the President of the United States is going to release serious UFO information, and the big debate in Washington in secret corridors is what actually they should release.
This doesn't surprise me. We've been hearing about this. The rumors are getting hot and rampant once again. And the last time they got hot and rampant like this was a few weeks before the first tranches came out of UFO files. And this is where Obama came out and basically said that aliens are real. They're just not here. And then Trump responded by saying, he may have broken the law by saying that. Maybe I should release the files. And that's what kind of kicked everything off. And there was a lot of word back then in March that basically that when is this going to happen? When is this going to come out? Is he bluffing? Is he not? Well, the president didn't bluff. He did release some of the UAP files, and we're still waiting for more to come. So I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and we might get something. Now, are we going to get real UFOs, or are we going to get man-made objects under the banner of UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena? That is the big question, because when it comes to this subject, everybody seems to talk very blustery, Walter, as you and I have talked about with your great audience. However, sometimes it's been less than desired of what has come out. So am I hopeful? I'm always hopeful. I just want to see it to believe it.
As I said to Ross, there are three categories of information that they have. One is a mechanical flying objects, that category. The other is evidence that aliens built stuff either on the moon or Mars or here that there's no way in hell humans could have built. Here's the proof. We've studied it. This had to be made by not humans. And finally, to admit it. Finally, for the government to admit it. And then the third group is we have an alien. One of those categories is forbidden. One of those categories is why they're having a debate. Why are they having a debate internally about what to release? It could only be that if they feel the population would be scared, or they fear that the population will go, you've been lying to us for decades, or the population will feel, oh, well, then you're not in charge anymore. One of those things is what's causing them concern, that they might not be in charge anymore. They might be accused of being liars for decades. I don't understand why there'd be a big internal debate unless they're afraid of losing their credibility or their power.
I think it is that, but can I also add something else to that, if you don't mind?
Whatever you want.
What if they've known for years, and inside this Pandora's box, inside the Pentagon that is hidden deep, deep, deep undercover, where only about 3 people have keys to it? What if they've known and they have a list of names of U.S. citizens who have been taken, experimented on, never come back?
If they have that,
those names.
Yeah, if they have that, there's no way in hell they're going to release that. Exactly.
But that is something that if the American public got a hold of that, they'd be calling for heads to roll.
Yeah, that's their big issue, if that's true.
I think, though, you bring up a very good point with the evidence. because the one thing that is really turning people off, and I've noticed it with comments on my show, because we have a live chat room on my show, is that people are getting frustrated with the talking. They're tired of the talking and then not getting the evidence that follows up. You know, it's kind of like your parents telling you that you're going to get a bike for your birthday. You want that bike for your birthday, and you're all excited for a bike, and you get socks and underwear and no bike. I mean, this is the way they've been treating us, like, children that don't deserve good things. And yet the public, they want evidence. They want to see the proof. We're now at the point in time with this subject where the public wants and needs to see the proof. And basically, I think we're at almost a put up or shut up time, because the loud words are growing, how can I put it? They're growing silent. You can bark all you want, but if you're not barking up the right tree, you're not going to be able to get anybody to pay attention.
All right, Dave.
Use your cliche.
Dave, clumsy analogy. What other news do you have?
Well, speaking of UFO news,
sir,
Lou Elizondo was recently interviewed, and he said that during the 1972 Apollo missions, they actually photographed monoliths on the moon that he believes are alien structures. He said that they are not human. They were not put there by humans. He believes that they were put there by some sort of alien race. They're on the backside of the moon. And the other interesting part about this is he also stated that NASA has photographs of these. Now, it's a very loud statement, considering for years NASA has denied everything to do with UFOs until the tranches have come out.
Right.
And now we're finding out that the astronauts have seen it. So is this going to lead to understanding whether or not even the astronauts from Artemis 2 actually maybe saw something on the dark side of the moon? They're not going to tell us, but it makes it more interesting as we now focus back on the moon. And I know you believe there are things on the moon.
All the indications are the Apollo astronauts, almost every one of them, referred to something there, and then we never had the answers. We never had the information. Dave Scott, how do we find you online?
SpacedOutRadio.com. You can also download our show from any major podcast network like Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or follow us on YouTube, Spaced Out Radio.
The great Dave Scott, a known Canadian, thank you for being on the other side of midnight.